Hi everyone, I'm Suzy and welcome to This Adulting Thing. Hi guys, if you are new to my channel, then we are talking about all the trials and tribulations of being an adult and all the struggles that we go through as millennials. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy today's episode. Right, today we're going to be talking about a topic which is very close to my own heart, and it is self-doubt. Self-doubt is something I've really been struggling with myself recently, and that's why I wanted to come on here and talk about it, because that's essentially what I do with this channel. I discuss all the problems that adults have, and if something has been particularly troublesome for me that week, then I think, you know what, now is the perfect time to talk about it. I wouldn't say I've ever been a super crazy confident person. I just haven't. I've been fairly average in terms of how I feel about myself and my self-belief. I've never hated myself or thought that I'm completely incompetent, but neither have I believed that I am the best and the greatest person to ever walk this earth, which is probably a good thing because I would be horrifically arrogant and that would not be the vibe. But for me, the self-doubt recently has come from my work and my business and what I'm trying to do. So if you're not familiar with my channel, you might not know anything about me, but in a nutshell, I am a personal trainer and an online coach who used to work in marketing, but a few years ago went self-employed, and that is now my life. So with my business, I've worked in a gym for quite a few years now, and I also have done a bit of online coaching, and that is an area that I'm really interested in and that I really want to pursue further. And I kind of let it fall to the wayside. It was sort of there, ticking along in the background, but I wasn't actively pushing it or actively putting it out there because I was focused more on my in-person business, and also I was doing some freelance marketing as well. So there's only so many hours in a day, isn't there really? But I decided I wanted to give it another crack, get back on it, and I have just been hit by this crippling wave of self-doubt about the whole thing. I've really struggled because in my head, I know what I want. I know where I want to be. I know what I'd like to be achieving with online coaching, but it's getting from A to B that I can't see myself being able to do it, which is crazy because you probably think, Suzy, it's not that deep, like, it's fine. But in my own head, it feels like a long way for me to get to where I want to be, and I'm starting to really doubt whether I can actually do it. I'm spending a lot of time on it, I'm putting in a lot of work, and I'm kind of starting to think, is it worth it? Is it even going to pay off? I'm getting into quite a negative spiral, and I'm trying not to do that, because if you start down that spiral, you end up getting to the point where you go, what's the point? I may as well not even bother because it's not going to work. And I really don't want to be that person. I've never considered myself as that person. I don't like to give up on things. So instead, I'm pushing myself really hard. I'm spending a lot of hours and a lot of time working on it. But in the back of my mind, there's that niggling little voice, and I hate it. And you'll probably know what I'm talking about because we all have our own niggling little voice in your head. The one that says, you can't do that. You won't be able to make it. Like, yeah, other people are doing it, but that's them. It's not you. You won't be able to manage it. And it's so hard to switch that voice off because it can be so loud. And I know what you're meant to do. You're meant to think about all the things that you have achieved and all the times that you have proved that you can do things. But sometimes in that moment, that voice is just too powerful. And for me, this week, it's been an ongoing battle with negative Suzy and positive Suzy shouting at each other, trying to allow positive Suzy to win over. But when that self-doubt hits, it's really hard. And people doubt themselves about all sorts of things. They doubt themselves as a partner, as a friend, as a colleague. You can doubt yourself in every single way. And it's so sad because it would be great if everyone was just able to have that belief in themselves and be able to sort of live at their full potential. But there's probably so many people out there who have these dreams or things that they really want to do that they would love to do more than anything else, but that little voice wins when it says you're not going to be able to do it. And so they doubt themselves too much and they never even try. I'm quite lucky. I have a good support system around me. I think my mum and my boyfriend are probably sick to death of me seeking reassurance recently for all of this stuff, but sometimes I just need to speak to someone, and for someone else to say, you can do it, it helps me to externalize it, because we are all biased. It's kind of like if you try on a really nice dress and you look in the mirror, you might think, oh, I look so fat, look at all these rolls, I look terrible. And then your partner or your friend might be like, oh my goodness, you look incredible. And you do look incredible, but in your own head, all you're seeing is the negatives, and you're just doubting that you do look good. Having that support system and having people to tell you that you are good enough makes a huge difference, because I think for me, that's one of my biggest worries. I just worry, am I good enough for so many things? And it's hard to try and overcome it, and to keep showing up every day, keep putting the work in every day, and having that uncertainty. In the dream world, I would be given a guarantee that would be like, Suzy, if you put the work in, this certificate says that you will succeed at what you're trying to do, you will make it happen, you will earn X, Y, Z and achieve this and that. But no guarantees are given. You literally are sort of just rolling the dice. You're doing what you can, you're putting the effort in, you're making the most educated choices that you can, and just hoping that it pays off. But at the end of the day, that's what life is, isn't it? There's no real guarantees. No one can tell you you're going to be a success or not. For some people it happens, for some people it doesn't, and that's just the way it goes. And what I try and do is not look at people with envy. If I see sort of business people or online coaches absolutely killing it and smashing it, rather than looking and thinking, that should be me, I could be doing that I should be that person, instead I think, okay, well, if they've made it work, then there's no real reason why I can't make it work. Like, why shouldn't I be able to do this? If I put in the time and the effort, then it should work for me. And that's kind of what I'm trying to remind myself on the tricky days. But self-doubt is just a constant battle. It's not something that just goes away. It's something that I think you need to work on in whatever form that takes, whether it's self-care, whether it's therapy, whatever it is. You need to try and find a way to diminish that voice. Otherwise, you wouldn't do anything. You wouldn't try anything, because there'd be no point in doing it. And the saying is true, sometimes you just have to fake it till you make it. Sometimes you just have to show up and slap on the smile and do the work, and just hope that if you live the life, or try to live the life that you want to live, then maybe it will come to you, perhaps. This actually relates back to my video on gratitude and manifestation. If you've not seen it, give it a watch. But essentially in that video, I was talking about how I effectively manifested my boyfriend, and I feel like I need to get back on this manifesting wagon, because maybe that will help me feel more positive. Maybe that will help relieve some of this self-doubt. If I can visualize it, maybe it will feel more real. Maybe I'll be able to make it happen. I think especially with social media and all of that stuff, if you didn't feel rubbish enough as it is, you then see all of people's highlight reels of how great their lives are, and fair enough, it's social media, it may not all be true, but it makes you doubt yourself even more. I was on LinkedIn the other day and I saw this girl pop up who I used to go to uni with, and straight away I could hear that voice being like, oh, look what she's doing, you would never be able to do that. And it's so annoying. I did not ask for this voice, but it popped up anyway. And overcoming self-doubt is a process. It's not easy. It's not an overnight thing at all. And I'm really trying. I'm trying to believe in myself. When believing in myself, I feel like I'm happier, because I feel like I'm doing the work, but in my head it's because I think I'm doing it because I know it's going to work. And that makes me keep showing up, and it makes me get things done. But when I start to doubt, that's when I think, is there any point? And I refuse to let that voice take over. So if you are doubting yourself with anything right now, like, I am there with you. Like, it is not easy. This video is not a solution to it by any means. It's more to let you know that it's something we're all struggling with. We all doubt ourselves. We all have days where we're just lacking in confidence. So you aren't alone in it. And that's what's comforting to me. All I want to do is try and stay focused, make things happen, and then hopefully in a year's time I can look back. I'll look back at this video actually, and I'll be like, look at you saying you couldn't do it, and look how far you've come. Look what you've been able to achieve. And that's what I also try and do. Look back at what I have done already and just be proud. Take a bit of time to be proud of myself and think, you know what, I actually did a good job there. And it's not all doom and gloom. I'm not completely useless. If you are struggling with self-doubt, then tell me, what are you struggling with? Is it career like me, or is it something else? If you want to share, then let me know. If you did enjoy what you saw today, then please like and subscribe, because that will also help me feel really positive. And I will see you guys very soon.